This week on Supercars Talk, it's time for another list, and this time we're going to go through how to fix supercars. As fans of a particular sport, we all have our own opinion on how we're going to fix that sport. And here's my list of how I'm going to make supercars better. First cab off the rank is more endurance races. Just having Bathurst as an enduro to me is not enough. We employ co-drivers during the year. We all get excited about who's going to team up with our favourite driver and things like that. And then they only go and make one appearance. Now, I understand with the whole COVID thing why it did drop back to just that one endurance round, but we're starting to get over that. And yeah, I think we need to add more in next year. I understand maybe why they didn't do it this year, but next year I think we need to add in more. And if it was up to me, not only like Sandown is a must, that should be happening each year, but then also include the proposed round that we were going to have at the Bend that was going to replace Sandown that never happened. We need Sandown, have the Bend as well. That might liven up that round. Have a proper endurance round at the Gold Coast instead of having those two short ones. Have a 500 or 600k enduro on the Sunday, full co-drivers. You know, that would be amazing to see. And in my wet dreams, we would be having 2 rounds over in New Zealand, with one of them being an endurance round as well for the Kiwis over there. And that would give a definite point of difference when you have the 2 rounds over there, one as a sprint round and one as an endurance round. In 4th position, different formats. Now this goes on a bit from more endurance rounds, but I'm talking about, you know, run of the mill each weekend at the moment. See, you know, 3 sprint races that are all the same distance, or, you know, we go to Townsville and we have 2 races that are the same distance. I'm talking about mixing up the formats over the weekend. I really like that kind of early 2010s thing where we had a shorter race on the Saturday and then a longer race on the Sunday, because it was a little bit different. Different guys did better and teams did better depending on their strategy and how they set their cars up. But for me, what I would be doing is having really 2 on the Saturday, but really short sprint races, like 20-25 minutes each. Just that, bit like that kind of the 50-50 format thing we had. I think that was early Car of the Future era around there, where but 2 separate races, but really short, sharp, you know, get in there, bang it out, kind of 20 minutes. And then on Sunday, we have a bigger kind of 2-hour mini kind of enduro race. Adelaide, I'm quite happy leaving that at the 2 races, but I think somewhere like Townsville that we just had, that's fresh in the mind. I think this kind of format would really give a difference to the 2 days, because it is a bit, you kind of, the same thing happens each day because it's the same format. I imagine, you know, you could really go out and blaze on, no pit stops kind of thing on the Saturday, and then Sunday really get that strategy involved in it. In 3rd position, more manufacturers, more cars. So back when Car of the Future started, well, the 2nd year, we had 5 manufacturers on the field. That's 5. Now we're just back to the 2. So hopefully Gen 3 will encourage more manufacturers to come in, because this shouldn't be, I suppose, the parity arguments where you've got individual teams doing what's best for the unfair advantage. If you've got the category actually doing the parity, then it should be a lot more even. More manufacturers then should be easier to get more cars in the grid. Now, a lot of people say, oh, we'll limit the grid because you can only have somewhere like, say, Simmons Plains, I think one of the bigger problem circuits, you can only fit like 28 cars there or whatever. So we have 28 licenses that are guaranteed for the whole year. The 28 or whatever that are available, should be available right now. Then say, you know, we go to somewhere like Sandown and maybe they have a grid limit of 32 or something like that. Just for example, I think Sandown can actually take more, but just as an example, 32 at Sandown. So we have another 4 licenses that say you can do, you know, you can go to Sandown and Bathurst, etc., etc. And then anyone over that, kind of their licenses limit them to, you know, places, the Bend, the Bathurst that's got a really big pit lane. So that's how you limit. And then if people want to trade, you know, if someone, big manufacturer comes in, say Nissan comes in again, sets up their own team, wants 4 licenses or whatever, they can either buy some of those, you know, the chosen 28 or whatever, they can buy them off other people, or they can start off with one of these limited licenses and then work their way through. But I think that would be a good system to add in more cars and stop the limitations of this question mark of, I know last time when we had too many cars, there was where you were in the championship and things like that, and people were swapping entries and paying people to get over to New Zealand because they had certain sponsors, and other cars were painted in different colours because of sponsorships and all things. Then you could actually go, well, I've got a limited license, I can only do these 6 rounds for the year, so I base my sponsorship around that, and that would make that a lot more simple, I think. Number 2 on my list is for Gen 3 to be a success. Now, to me, it's not looking like they're going to be that much cheaper to build, but for me, success of Gen 3 will be if they are cheaper to run. If the aero is greatly reduced, so the racing is a lot better and closer, and at least one more manufacturer gets interested in it. I would like to see a lot more involved in there, but just some more diversity in the field, more than the current 2 that we've got, that would be a success for me. And finally, number 1 on the list is bring back the BIF. If the racing is good, the fans will come, the sponsors will flock to the series, and it'll go from strength to strength. Just over, it's probably been happening 10, 15 years now. The personalities are getting more and more sanitized in there. I really like that Shane Van Gisbergen has kind of taken on that black hat kind of mantle that, you know, a few of the guys like, say, an Alan Moffat had back in the old days. I think there needs to be a bit more of that. We have seen, you know, Anton and Cam Waters have started to get a bit more aggressive. Chaz Mostert is always a bit aggressive out there, but there just seemed to be a bit more of that hard racing back in, you know, kind of peak supercars of the early 2000s, where, you know, you had Scaife and Ingle kind of butting heads, and Ambrose was getting in there with Murphy and things, that you had these real kind of, you know, clashes. And maybe we will see that a bit more. You know, Anton and SVG have, you know, started to, Cam Waters is kind of getting in there a bit and having a bit of a go. I think we need more of that to elevate and get the fans a bit more passionate, because even I know myself on the weekend, I'm not a big Triple Eight fan, but, you know, I wasn't really getting passionate about that incident, other than the obvious bit where I was disappointed in how Shane reacted to it, but that's a different matter for a different video. So that's my 5 things to hopefully fix supercars. So let me know down in the comments, do you agree? Is there anything I missed? Let me know. If you like this video, check out like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff, and, you know, maybe some suggestions for me to do more of these kind of short, sharp top 5 videos in the future. But until next time, I'm still Dave, and I'll catch you later.